All right, folks, today I am doing our Monday shop talk video, not from the workshop. I'm actually doing it from the Odin Leather Goods Provisions store out here in Grandscape. So welcome to the Monday shop talk. Thanks for joining me. I tell you, the outpouring support from all of you for these videos has just been amazing. When I first started this, all I knew is I had an idea based on something that another leather worker was doing. I thought was really cool, and I thought I'd do a few of these videos and I would just see how things would go. But I tell you, this is episode number 4. It's going incredible. I mean, the comments I'm getting from folks, the feedback I'm getting, the conversations that this has started has been absolutely outstanding. And as of right now, I plan on keeping this going for a very long time. Every Monday or Tuesday, I'll try to do a video and get it up on YouTube by Wednesday. The format's going to be the same. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the workshop, what happened the weekend before, maybe some family life things, try to answer some questions about business because that seems to be the topic most of you are really interested in. There's plenty of folks on YouTube right now doing videos about leathercraft and how-to videos. Heck, I'm even doing a few of them. But the thing that people aren't talking about is the business side of running a leathercraft business. I'm happy to share with you my mistakes, happy to share with you my successes and wins, share with you the things that helped me get through, the things that I've learned the hard way not to do again. All that we'll talk about here. So in addition to that, I'll take questions from you as they come in. Leave questions in the comments below, leave questions on Instagram. Wherever you want to send it to me is fine. Email, all that's good to go. I'll pick them up as I can, and I'll try to answer some of those questions as we do these videos from week to week. This week I'm using a new camera. I've got a little lavalier mic. Hopefully that improves some of the sound quality because I got some comments about that last week. They were great comments, they were great critiques, and I appreciate those folks giving me that information. Hopefully the lavalier mic helps out a little bit this week. So what are we going to talk about? Let's start off with a weekend update. So this past weekend was an abnormal weekend for me. The previous weekend, I spent the entire weekend away from the shop. I was actually in Houston doing some traveling and went to a wedding and saw some family. This weekend was not as much traveling, but instead, since I had planned to travel, but I didn't, I planned instead to stay at home and spend the entire weekend with my son. My wife and daughter were out of town. They were in Houston this weekend like I was last weekend. And it seemed like the perfect opportunity to spend just a one-on-one time with me and my boy. We had a great time. We spent a lot of time talking and hanging out. He had a couple of hockey games this weekend, which I'm always happy to go to a hockey game and cheer and go on and on with him. So I got a chance to hang out with my kid, did a lot of hockey games, hockey practice, things like that. Just generally hanging out. Did some shopping for some stuff around the house and watched a few movies with him, which he totally enjoyed. He's a kid that needs some one-on-one time, so I was more than happy to give it to him. It was a good weekend for him, and it was a good weekend for me. So what else is going on? So I also had a conversation with a women's group down in Houston. They invited me to come on. This women's group, they really focus on textile sewing and fashion, which is things I know nothing about. But they want to hear more about leathercraft. They wanted to hear more about how I stitch and how I assemble leather. And I had a chance to spend 2 hours with them on a Zoom call, which seems like a long time, but I tell you, it went by very fast. It was a lively conversation. It was a fun conversation. I learned some things from those women. Hopefully they learned a few things from me. We did a shop tour and some other stuff, and it was good. I think it's really coming out about me doing these videos is that I enjoy talking about this stuff, which is amazing for a kid who is very much so introvert growing up. I enjoy talking about this. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy sharing. I enjoy learning. I enjoy the conversations about things that I'm passionate about, which includes business and leathercraft. So if you have a conversation you want to have with me, just give me a shout. I'm happy to have that. The women's group this weekend was absolutely fantastic, and hopefully it won't be the last time I talk to them. So now, obviously, not in the workshop. I'm over at Odin Leather Goods and Provisions here in Grandscape. I wanted to do a quick tour of the shop and share with you what's going on here. I'll step out of frame and let you see what's going on. It's Monday here at the shop. We're normally closed on Mondays, but during the month of January and February, we're actually closed on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays because it's fairly slow out here. It's retail. These months tend to be a little slow, so we've decided to close down the stores just so we can spend more time at the workshop instead. And but good thing is we've had a chance to come in here and retool some things, rearrange some things. Just keep on panning around here. Now, while we're here today, I will do a little bit of a walk around. I'll bring the camera around and show you some of the products that I'm most excited about here at Grandscape. I'm very proud of the store. It's something that we worked on for I would say over a year and a half, maybe even 2 years, that we worked on pulling all the details together for the store. And I've never done retail. I've never even worked retail before, so this is all new to me. luckily I had some friends and some family and some great contacts out there that helped me kind of wrap my mind around what it meant to own a retail store and to organize products in here and do what's called merchandising. Merchandising is how you set all the products up. And I tell you from experience, the way you set your products up, whether it be in a retail store like this or at a trade show or farmer's market, makes a huge difference on sales during that time period. I did learn some of that when I was doing lots of pop-ups. The way you organize your products and the way you display your products influences the way customers see your products. And that's something very important for you to all remember and take in. But when you translate that into a retail store, the game is just a whole different level. I mean, I can tell you, I can put a bag over here and it'll sell all day long, but if I just move it to the other side of the room, drop it down and bring it up, it may not sell at all. The same thing with some of the wallets here on the table. The way we display our wallets really has a big influence on whether or not they're selling or not. When we first started here, the wallets were kind of all over the place. They were all over the shop because it's a leather store, so I wanted to make sure there's leather in all corners of the shop. Well, what we found over time is that it actually works better to keep all the leather organized in one space. That really helps us. I have my belts over there. They're all organized, and little things like, actually, I'm gonna grab a belt and I'm gonna show you one of the things I learned about selling belts. All right, one of the most important things I've learned about doing the retail shop here is that it's very important to make it easy for your customer to shop. So one of the things that we do on the belt rack is we actually have these tabs here. So all the belts are actually on some of these tabs, and these tabs have a size on them, right? You see that? And what it does as a result of using these, it makes it really easy for the customer to see the size of the belt from a distance, from afar. So we hang these all up, and the customer can flip through all the belts that we have on the rack, and they can see the size very clearly and easily and pick out the one they need. That had a huge difference on belt sales. I mean, I went from selling 1 or 2 belts to selling 10 or 12 belts a week just because we have them on these little tabs here. So little things like that have huge impacts on the retail business. And there's even more to it than that. There's guys like over at Ballard, the Bird Dog down in Brenham, Texas. There's Travis over at Man Ready down in Houston. They could tell you all kinds of stuff about what it means to merchandise well and effectively. One of the most important lessons I learned from my buddy Josh is that just because it's pretty, meaning just because the setup you have in your store is pretty, doesn't necessarily mean it sells. So we're always trying to find the fine line, the balancing point between making it look good and pretty on the shelf, but also making it so it sells. And I tell you, it's always a crapshoot. It seems like, you think you may have it figured out, and then you realize, man, that sales in that item just crashed that weekend because it wasn't merchandised properly. So there's a bit of a science to it. Actually, no, there's a lot of science to merchandising. There's some luck to it, and there's some experience that is needed to merchandise a store really, really well. And guys like Josh at 1.8 Design, Travis at Man Ready Mercantile, guys over at Ballard or Bird Dog, they do a fantastic job, and I'm just trying to learn from them as I go. So if you get a chance, if you're in the Grandscape area, I really hope that you're able to stop by one day and let me show you around. I'm usually here 1 or 2 days a week. My wife and the ladies that work retail here in the store, they really try to keep me out here as much as possible because obviously I need to be in the workshop making as much stuff as possible. When I come here, I'm just start moving things around. They don't like that too much. So 1 or 2 days a week you'll catch me here. Any other day of the week you'll catch me at the workshop and just making stuff and trying to keep up with orders and keep up with demand here in the workshop. So what can I show you here in the store? So we got wallets here. I'll turn this a little bit. We got our key wallets here on the rack. I've got my Miles wallet, flap wallets. These sell pretty good. I've got my zip wallets. These we call the Gracie wallets. Holidays and events where there's a lot of women shopping, these tend to do really, really well. Our Devon pocket wallets, like this one here, have been doing absolutely outstanding. This is a front pocket wallet with a slot for cards in front. There's also a pocket on the back with a little keyhole to help you get the cards out, and of course it snaps on the front. These have been doing really well, and I'm very proud of this design. This was an original Odin Leather Goods design, and I'm happy with the way these are performing. So these are really cool. The Grant wallets, which I'm sure by now you've probably seen this. In fact, if you are looking at this video today, next to this video or below this video, you'll probably also see the video of the shell Cordovan version of this wallet I just did. Hunter and I did a nice produced video earlier in the month. It came out absolutely fantastic, where we took a piece of marbled shell Cordovan and we handmade, hand cut, hand stitched one of these Grant flap wallets. And I got to tell you, it's doing really, really well here on YouTube. I'm very surprised with the again, the engagement I'm getting. It's humbling to see all the comments. It's humbling to see all the all the people talking about things. And anyway, This wallet actually also has an acrylic template set that's for sale on my website, as well as a downloadable paper pattern that's also for sale on the website. Go there, check it out. If you're inclined to get yourself one, great. If you just want to watch the video, it's going to be somewhere around you here on YouTube. You can click through. I'll make sure I put a link in it. I think I can put a little card here as well that you can click and go right to it as well. So yeah, Grant Flap wallets. If you are a leather worker and you're looking to try a nice, neat little project, this is actually a really good one to do. In fact, I'll even share with you the wallet I carry day to day is this design. So this is my wallet that I carry day to day, right? So this one is made actually of shell cordovan. You can actually see on the inside, it's a piece of Horween shell cordovan, right? Which is a really nice material to work with. And I actually put my name on it because I've learned if I don't put my name on the things I make for myself, I'll wind up selling it. I'll come in the store, someone will comment on it, and I'll sell it right away. So nowadays I put my name on the things that I actually plan on keeping for myself so that I'm not tempted to sell it. But here's the same version. In fact, before I started carrying this today, it was actually more this color. Now this is a harness leather, which is a really beautiful harness. I've used this for the last few years to make the flap wallets, and it actually patinas and looks really, really good over time. But for myself, I wanted to make a shell cordovan version. That's what you see here. These wallets will hold, I don't know, I think I probably have 8 cards in my wallet plus ID and some cash. Yeah, 8 cards, maybe some cash, holds all that in there just fine, and it fits in your front pocket. If you like a shell cordovan version of this, I'd really encourage you to check out shellcordovan.com. They actually sell a really nice shell, and I think will make a perfect version of this wallet. I'll put a link to them down in the comments as well. Let's see. These are our 3-pocket Morgan wallets. These are pretty slick. Sales on wallets tend to ebb and flow throughout the year. Some weeks I will sell nothing but Miles wallets over here. Some weeks I'll sell nothing but Devon wallets. In other weeks, it'll just be a cross between all of them. In other weeks, I won't sell any of these Morgan wallets, but then go 2 weeks into the future and I'll sell 30 of these things. It's just amazing. I really haven't been able to figure it out. And granted, I know it is pandemic times, it's COVID times, so it's hard to figure anything out right now, but the retail game is just keeping me on my toes. I'll tell you that. I never know what to make, never know when to make it. Hopefully next year I'll have a little bit of history and historical data to refer back to that tells me what I should be making when, but right now it's a crapshoot. So if you go online and something's out of stock, or you come here in the store, something's out of stock, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure it out as fast as I can, but it is a crapshoot. Now, if you are a retail pro and you want to give me some tips on how best to organize a shop, maybe you're watching this video right now and you see something that is just driving you absolutely nuts, please leave a comment below. Let me know. I'm the first to tell you I have no idea what I'm doing here. It's all just me, winging it. So I'm always open to hear comments from people about how to make things better. So leave me a comment below if you like. Okay, what else is going on here in the store? I also have some other cool things here that aren't on the website, like these t-shirts. I had a buddy of mine make these t-shirts for me. He is in Denton, Texas. His name is Chiano. These t-shirts are interesting. One, they're really, really great quality. I had a guy that he's worked for me for a while. He absolutely swears by these things. These are 100% cotton, and Texas-made t-shirts. That's right. They're made from Texas cotton. They're made in Texas. And I've been able to work with Chiano, get them labeled and branded as Odin Leather Goods Workwear. So that should be a little bit of an indicator that we are going to do some more projects in the future with Chiano, where we make some work gear, maybe some shirts, and even some jeans specific to Odin Leather Goods. And I promise you, for the big guys out there, I'll make sure I take care of you also, because it's hard to find good quality clothes, especially workwear and denim, just for us big guys. So anyway, if you're interested in a really good quality t-shirt, we have them here. Texas cotton, Texas made, Texas all the way, right here in the store. Now, speaking of Chiano, one of the things we also have here is some of his denim jeans, right? I was never a big guy to buy really expensive denim jeans because I thought they were all the same. And I felt like that until I got a really good, expensive, selvage denim pair of jeans. And I tell you, it is all the difference in the world with how these things fit and wear and break in over time. Chiano, and I won't spend too much time talking about what else we have like this in the store, but just want to point out Chiano's a great guy. He makes all his stuff in-house, and we are fortunate to have some of his denim here in the store as well. What else can I point out? There's a little fanny pack over here. I'll point to it right, get my hand right there. These are made by the ladies over at Glad & Young in Atlanta, Georgia. I was looking to make some fanny pack designs myself for a period of time. But as things got busier and busier, you know, is one of those design things that kept on falling by the wayside. I never got around to it. Well, I saw the work that Glad and Young was doing, and I was like, what's the point of me making a design of my own? They understand the market, they understand the product. I'm just going to purchase their fanny packs and bring them into the store, and I couldn't be happier with the decision. They make a great product. It's received very well by the customers. We ship them all year long. Ladies come in and they buy them all day. Sometimes they buy them as crossbody purses. Sometimes they buy them as fanny packs like you see there. But it's a great product. Really happy to have those here. Those have been great. What else? So we also have some candles here. We have a combination of candles. Some of the candles are made by my wife. The ones in these tins are made by her. These are probably the ones that we sell the most. These are our leather and vanilla candle. These have done really, really well, and I'm very proud of the work my wife has put into that. And she has some big plans for candles this year also. She has some tweaks that she's going to make to some of the fragrances, as well as some packaging changes she's going to be making. So these have done really well. A company I met some years back, surprisingly, at Man Ray Mercantile in Houston. I did a pop-up show there maybe 3 years ago. I met a company and a couple that run a company called Boyd's of Texas, I think it's called. They make a Texas-made cologne, perfume. And I'd say it's really, really good. It has these very natural, earthy scents to it that are probably unisex. They can be worn by a male or a female. I really like them. I've replaced the scents that I wear with their stuff. So check out Boyd's. Good stuff. I can also brag on the Immaculate Beard. This is made by a young lady by the name of Sasha Kirkpatrick in East Dallas. This is another Texas brand, Texas-made product. She does an absolutely wonderful job. If you're ever looking at my beard, you want to know what kind of products I use, she has one of the products I use most often in my beard. She makes lotions, she makes beard care, things like oils and shave creams and things like that, and we're happy to have her here in the store. Got some more man-ready mercantile stuff there. I've got my two favorite leather conditioners here in the store, Black Rock and Smith's Leather Balm. If you've been anywhere in the leathercraft community in the last 2 years, you would have seen these two brands, and I can't speak highly enough about them. Smith's is a really good penetrating leather conditioner. Black Rock is something that's, I think it's Cornua based. It has more of a topical and cleaning application to it. This does really well on boots. This does really well on small leather goods. I use them interchangeably. I'm happy to sell both of them here in the store too. So, all right, let's see. Coasters. Can't sell enough coasters. I always keep these in stock here. Tons of designs. There's probably maybe 4 or 5 designs. Customers come here and pick whatever 4 designs they want. They can mix and match colors all day long. Those are always a good seller. Turn the camera just a little bit. Let's see. T-shirts. I've got barbecue gear down here from the guys over at Barbecue Rubdown. That stuff is absolutely fantastic. If you've seen my Instagram stories, you know I love to use my big green egg in the backyard. When I'm at home, I like to do my beef ribs and pork butts and things like that. I always use the Barbecue Rubdown stuff for that. We'll talk about what we have on this side of the store. Okay, so what do we have over here? So I got playing cards from my guy Tyler over at Miscellaneous Goods Co. Really cool playing cards. Lots of keychains. Keychains are always a good seller here in the store. I have things that range all the way up to like $500 a unit here, and I have things that are as low as, $8 here. Keychains are in that $15 to $25 range. These are always good to have around. I've got key hangers as well. If you're inclined to keep your keys in your belt, you want to get rid of that old carabiner. This is a great replacement option. That old carabiner, all solid brass hardware. More base coat stuff and Barbecue Rubdown things here. Even got some candy for some folks. You've seen me make throughout the year these mason jar mugs. These things sell like hotcakes. I can't make enough of these. I think this year we probably did over 750 of these just in the winter months, the holiday season. And hopefully we're getting some more big orders for these coming up real soon. So I got my Instagram follower counter up there. People love coming in here and they can actually get on the phone right away and they can follow me. And if they follow me, I think within 15 to 30 seconds, the count of their flips forward, which is pretty cool. People love doing that. Got some masks here from Ciano again, heavy duty canvas. Railroad spike bottle openers. Why? Because this is the only way to open up a beer bottle is using a railroad spike bottle opener. These things are solid and actually are real railroad spikes. These are cool. Got some drink mixes here. If you're into traveling with cocktails, I've got some travel cocktail and tumbler sets here, even a travel tumbler. I'm actually going to be going to Mexico next weekend. Actually, next week, my wife and I will be down there for a little bit of vacation, and we'll be bringing one of these with us. It has the nice flask on the inside, and then it has a tumbler that goes on top, right? So, and it's magnetic, sticks together. So these are pretty cool. Been selling a lot of these lately too. And to go along with that, I'll be bringing in a bottle of Eli Mason cocktail mixer. Now this is the spice simple syrup, but the one I use most often is just the old-fashioned mix. I'm not a very good bartender, which is probably the reason why I just drink whiskey straight up usually. But occasionally when I want a cocktail, the Eli Mason cocktail mixer is really a great product to have. It makes making old-fashions very easy, at least for me. Let's see, more flasks. Flasks are always fun. I've got dog leashes here. I've had the dog leashes for a while, but I will be making dog collars to go along with these dog leashes also. The color that seems to sell best for me here is the High Vis Orange, which I have one down there at the bottom, but the High Vis Orange is probably the most popular color in dog leashes. This is a 3/8 inch version. I also have a 3/4 inch version of this dog leash or dog lead coming. It's 6 feet long. And this is not leather. So it looks like leather, feels like leather, but it actually is not leather. For my personal uses, I found that the leather actually is a bit tougher to take care of because dogs tend to chew on them and they mess them up and they're just tougher, right? This is like a PVC coated nylon, and I think it makes for a better dog lead in my personal opinion. But you know, we have those here in the store. And of course, we have a rack full of belts. Belts never stop. There's probably 50 or 60 belts here on this rack alone, and that's because you never know what size people need. I try to all different colors and shapes. I've got English bridle ones. I've got water buffalo belts, some that are stitched, some that aren't. I've got, let's see, I've got some really heavy-duty Japanese brass buckles here that really are very popular, although they're a bit pricey, but because they're a bit of a statement piece. This one, for instance, is double-sided English bridle front and back and stitched all the way around. This is a Sedgwick one here with a brass keeper and a quick release buckle. These Sedgwick bridle belts are really, really great. In fact, over the next year or so, I may transition most of my belts to being this Sedgwick English bridle, just because I like it so much. And it feels kind of plasticky at first when you first start working with it, but after using it for a little while, it actually gets buttery soft and is just the best English bridle I can find. So that's going to be coming up. I'll be using that Sedgwick for lots of different things. So that's here. I got plenty of pennants and banners from my buddies over at Oxford Pennant. I've met these guys some years back. They're really great guys, and I'm happy to have their pennants and banners here. If you've asked recently about the custom Odin Leather Goods Dreams and Hustle banner, I'm probably going to put another order in for those pretty soon and have those here in the shop in the next, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. I should have more of the Free Dreams Full Price Hustle banners. So if you've been looking for those, don't worry, they are coming back. I just haven't got a chance to get back around to it yet. So, all right, and of course t-shirts, lots of t-shirts. The most popular t-shirt I have right now is this one, which has absolutely nothing to do with leathercraft, but it is my I'm no governor, but I was shutting down bars way before coronavirus. Hey, it's cheeky. Some people got offended by this one, and I apologize if we offended you. But this was all about just keeping things kind of lighthearted around here. COVID's hit all of us pretty bad. We've all been in the house for a long time for good reason. I'm not going to debate that with anybody. But you do have to bring some levity to the situation occasionally, and this t-shirt was our version of that. Not everything I do is leathercraft related or leather related. Sometimes we want to do things that aren't. I mean, you see all the products in here we have. It's hard to have a store that has nothing but leather in it, right? So we've kind of mixed it up with some things that we think complement our leather goods really well, or things that we just really like and we really appreciate. There's some really fabulous and fantastic makers and brands around you that you probably have never heard of, and my goal is to try to support them and give them a place where they can put their products. We don't do consignment here, which means everything you see here are things that I bought, I've put in here, and I've invested into. If it sells, great. If it doesn't sell, well, you know, that's too bad for us. We'll make adjustments next time, but we don't do consignment here. We are supporting those other brands by buying their products and putting in the store, not by just giving them shelf space. So anyway, little tangent there, but we got plenty of t-shirts, plenty of Odin Leather Goods hats. I still got plenty of gray, charcoal gray hats and black hats left. For the first few years, I only had this charcoal gray color, which was really popular. And then this past year, I added on this gray with metallic gold stitching. The idea came from the guys and boys over at Mill Scale. Mill Scale is an outfit who they weld up these incredible barbecue pits, and they're barbecue pits that the pros use, not just your local, guy down the street. They have an incredible shop down in Lockhart, Texas, which is the barbecue capital of the world. Trust me, it is. If you ever come through Texas, stop by Lockhart, and there are barbecue shops down there that will just blow your mind. Check them out. But they had a great Mill Scale cap, and so I made one like them. So this is a ode to them. It's black with gold. I also hopefully will have a camouflage one, a camo one with gold embroidery on it as well later this year. So be on the lookout for that if you're into it. So, all right, so here's another angle in the store. This is from one of the other corners. What you probably can't see in any of these shots is just how much stuff is around us. This is a Monday, so everything is closed out here. But trust me, on a weekday like a Thursday night or Friday night, or even on the weekends, this place is pretty hopping. Plenty of people out here. I always wish there was more people, but right now, we're happy for what we got. Let's see if I can adjust the exposure here. We're happy for what we got. But there are plenty of people out here shopping and hanging out. Just this over this way is Andretti's Gaming. They have a big indoor go-kart place. Directly across from me over here is this place over here is Electric Game Box. So they have this fantastic indoor gaming setup where they basically project the video game on all four walls, and you move your body around the room to control the game. My son and I did it Saturday night, in fact, and we had a great time. We played. It's almost like thinking your body's a joystick, so you move forward. The players do different things. There's like puzzle games. There's like Mario Brothers type stuff. It's all kinds of stuff. It's a lot of fun. Definitely going to be doing that again. My kids absolutely love it. So it was a good, father-son activity to do, because other than that, I don't really play video games, but that was very, very cool. As I mentioned, Andretti's go-karting is there. So if you're into go-kart racing, they've got one of the best go-kart tracks in the area. It's all indoor. They also have bowling, and they've got a bar and restaurant in there, lots of video games and VR type stuff. And then just a little further that way still is Galaxy Theater. They've got probably the best theater in DFW right now, with some awesome Sony, things I don't understand, but it's Sony audio, blah, 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 that I really can't speak to very well, but it's all up there at the front of the development as well, including some restaurants like P.F. Chang's, and there's a pizza shop here just directly across from me. There's going to be a space directly across from me later this year. I don't know if you can see that, but right there there'll be another restaurant, outdoor seating and patio area. Can't wait for that to get here. That's going to be cool to have all those people here. There is Shields sporting goods store over there. Shields, I think this is their first store in Texas, and as right now, it's the largest sporting goods store in the world. Don't know how they calculate that, but that's the claim to fame they have. Shields, the largest sporting goods store in the world. That's back there, and I'll do some B-roll when we're done with this video, and I'll kind of walk around and show you some of the other some of the developments, other amenities and things like that. But they've got this massive lawn out here also. They do entertainment. They have concerts every other weekend. They do gaming and things like that. And once COVID's over, it's going to be a really great place to go and hang out on the weekends, especially when the weather's great. Whether it be a little cool outside, a little warm outside, that lawn is going to be great. A lot of outdoor fireplaces out there. Right behind me, so behind where the camera is, right behind the camera, I have a cake shop lady over here named Julie Sweets. She makes the best cakes in DFW, bar none. If you're thinking to yourself, well, my grandmother or my mom makes cakes better, I promise you, your mom doesn't make cakes as well as Julia. Her cakes are kind of the style cakes that you would get from a grandma or mom. Full of butter, very dense, very rich. Definitely not something you want to have every day, because it's going to be bad for you. But when you do get one to treat, her name is Yolanda actually, but the name of her company is Julia Sweets. Absolutely fantastic cakes, and it's amazing to see people go in there and come out with these big smiles on their face, and they're shaking their head because they can't believe how good those cakes are. So pretty cool. Next to her, also behind the camera, but next to Julia Sweets, is the Colony Wine Bar. So you can actually come out here, get a drink, walk around the development with your drink in hand, have a good time, visit some of the restaurants, visit some of the shops, hang out all night long with a glass of wine or beer. That's there. They even have a big outdoor fireplace right over here as well. That's pretty cool to sit up under. And it is nice to see people walk through here at night when the lights are lit up and the trees have lights in them and things like that. People just hanging out, having a good time. Even with all the pandemic stuff going on, people are still trying to find a way to get out safely and social distance and enjoy, being outside. And apparently this has been one of the places they've been coming to do that. So that's nice. So back at this angle, you see my bag wall. Right now the bag wall only has my tote bags on it. Usually the bag wall has a few other things on it as well, like the Riley totes. We're just out of them. We sold out all of them earlier in the holiday season, so we're down to kind of the last of the totes. And I did go overboard on totes this year because usually I sell out of totes every year. Did not want to do that this year. So didn't sell out this year, came pretty close. This is the last of them. It's going to be time for us to make another batch of totes really, really soon. Now, speaking of bags, because I have so many lady customers come out here on a regular basis and so many lady customers online, I have been working with my wife Rochelle to design some new handbags. I've got 3 new bags on the way. I've got a purse style bag that's, I guess you can put it over their arm or hold in their hand. It's, it's about that big, right? That's a new design that's going to be coming out pretty soon. It has a zipper on top. It does have a shoulder strap and handle, so you can wear it as a crossbody or you can hold it in your hand. Good everyday type purse. I also have a crossbody purse that specifically is for wearing crossbody, and it's probably about yay big. Has a zipper on top and a shoulder strap you can put over. And then lastly, I have the clutch. The clutch you've probably already seen because Hunter and I did a video on that a few weeks ago, and we finally got to the point where we're really happy with the design that we went ahead and put out acrylic templates for it. We put out paper templates for it. And I got all my clicker dies made for it, and hopefully within the next week or 2 we will go into production on clutches. Now the only thing holding us back is the big pocket protector order that I've been talking about for 3 or 4 weeks now. That order is still going on. I don't expect it to be over anytime soon, which is a good thing. I'm happy about that order, but we can't really start on any other big production runs until that order is complete. So clutches, handbags, those are all coming after the pocket protector job is over, which hopefully will be by the end of February or early March. All right. Other designs coming. I have a few other like journal type, traveling type things like pockets, pocket gear that's going to be coming out this year. A few more wallet designs. I have one bifold wallet, but I want to make another bifold wallet. Other travel gear, we have our Dopp Kit. The Dopp Kit's probably going to stay the same this year. I don't plan on making any changes to these. These have done really well. It took me, as simple as this is, you guys would not believe. You heard me say that I have my own process, and sometimes it makes things more complicated than it probably should be. This is a perfect example of that. It probably took me 1.5 years for me, in my mind, to figure this design out and figure out how to make it repeatedly. So after going through 1.5 years of product development and trying to figure this out, I don't plan on changing this anytime soon. It is what it is. It sells pretty well. People are very happy with it. It's a soft body Dopp Kit. It's not hard, and stiff like so many other people's Dopp Kits. Nothing wrong with that if that's how they make them. But I wanted a Dopp Kit like this that I could put as much or as little in as I wanted. And then if there's not a lot in it, it will squish down and fit in my suitcase without taking a lot of space. That was real important to me. I didn't want one of those big heavy. When I'm traveling, I'm either going to try to travel light with as few bags as possible, or I'm traveling on an airplane again, and I'm trying to keep the baggage down to the minimum. I want something that's going to compress down if I can. So these have done really well. We will this year change up the leathers, right? So this Autumn Harvest and Sierra waterproof leather from Wick and Craig, those will probably be gone this year. We'll switch it up and we'll go to something else. And the leather I'm thinking about right now is probably going to be a baseball glove leather. I really like it. It looks really good. I've been making a few things with it sparingly here and there, and that's probably going to be the leather we're going to use for a lot of the products this year is the baseball glove leather. It does come in a light tan color, and it comes in a darker brown color. And if I'm feeling froggy about it, I may even do a black version of all this stuff as well. But baseball glove leather may be the way we go on a lot of the products this year. Don't quote me on that. It's always in flux. It could change, but that's what I'm thinking about right now. So another thing that does really well here is these have done really well. These are our zip folios. This is one product I've been making for the last 9 months or so, and I don't really talk about much. I don't know why I haven't got around to speaking on it too often. I actually carry one every day, but it's a simple folio, right? It has a internal area like that. It fits an iPad. It fits a Microsoft Surface Pro. It fits a small laptop. Fits notepad. You put all that stuff in here, put your pen in there, zip it up, take this with you, hold it in your hand, throw it in your truck, throw it in your other bag, throw it in your tote bag or whatever, and you got all your stuff in one place. This, when I travel, it's typically what I have. I have a backpack that has my clothes and stuff in it, and I squish down my work stuff into what will fit in this. And usually that's either going to be a 13-inch MacBook Pro, or it's going to be my 12.9-inch iPad Pro and keyboard. I'll just put it here along with a notepad. That's pretty much all I need for travel and for work. This works really well. Proud of these. Haven't done a lot of promotion of them. They are on the website, but I just don't talk about them much for some reason. That I need to change this year. These are mainly sold in the store because people can get a feeling for them, touch them, and hold them and things like that. A little harder to sell online because the pictures don't really do it justice, but that probably just means I need to get better at taking pictures. So maybe I'll try that. All right, what else sells really well here in the store? Knives. Open Nail knives are always a hot seller. Like selling these things. These are available online. Now, Open Nail is a great little brand. It's inexpensive, but it has really great steel. I forget what it's called, a drop point blade or whatever. I keep a couple of these around. This is not what I carry day to day. What I carry day to day is a benchcraft knife, right? So for me, this is like a backup knife, something I keep in the truck. I keep one in my backpack, things like that. And for my day-to-day pocket knife, I carry a benchcraft knife, which I really like. I've had for a little while. It's absolutely filthy right now. Need to clean that up. I think I may have talked about this last week too. But these little knives, which range from I think 18 to 24 bucks, are great alternatives to keep in your pocket or throw in the truck. Now, pretty soon, the reason why I bring this up is because last week I mentioned that I was going to do some templates, or I made myself some templates based off of a Don Gonzalez design. That template has been great. I got a lot of calls. People asked me about it. On the video last week, I mentioned that I was not going to be selling those acrylic templates, and I was not going to be selling the patterns for that because that is Don Gonzalez's design. If you want that sheath design, go to Don Gonzalez's website. He will sell that to you all day long. In fact, he even has some template kits where you can buy the leather to go along with it, and all you need to do is tool it. That's all on Don Gonzalez's site. The templates I made, the acrylic templates I made, are really just for me to use because I don't want to have to measure over and over again, and I like having acrylic templates at my disposal. But I did buy a bunch of knives to go along with them. So I have a bunch of case strapper knives that I just received, and as soon as I get the sheaths ready to go, I'll have plenty of case strapper knives here in the store for you to shop and buy. You can buy them online, you can buy them here in the store, whichever. But case strapper knives, kind of like the grandpa, the granddad pocket knife. They don't have a lock, they just kind of fold in, fold out. But it's a great classic knife with bone handles and things like that. Those will be available online. So, an interesting product that my wife almost fought me on when I told her I wanted to bring to the store. She's like, she just couldn't understand why anyone would buy it. But now she sees the light because we sell a ton of it. But we sell a ton of these toothpicks. This is a Dennis toothpick. They're flavored toothpicks. I can't keep enough of these in stock. They come in a flavor of cinnamon, mint, single malt, and bourbon. The single malt and bourbon actually tastes like bourbon and malt. They're actually really, really good. And you may be thinking to yourself, all toothpicks are created equal. Okay, buy some of these and then tell me what you think. They'll change your life in the sense that you'll never think that you needed toothpicks like this until you get them. And then you get them, you're like, I can't live without them. I keep some of these handy always. So maybe that's a sign of me turning into an old guy, which I absolutely am. Now I care about the type of toothpicks that I have around. So Dennis toothpicks do really well around here as well. Check them. So there's a kind of a rundown of the shop. I'll include some B-roll of the store. I'll kind of walk around and show you some close-ups of what's going on here. And let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any brands you think I should bring into the store, ideas for how I should display things, things you actually look at and you say, why on earth would he ever carry that? Or if you know brands and you're thinking to yourself, hey, why doesn't he carry this brand? This would be the perfect brand for him, right? I would love to hear those things. Let me know, leave comments, send me an email, let me know if there's any brands that you think would fit well here. Now here's my brand philosophy for the store. We're a small maker. I want products and I want brands that are going to complement what we're doing here, which means typically they're going to be small brands also. Doesn't mean they have to be, they're not necessarily craft brands. They're not, arts and crafts, people just making things in the garage, although there's nothing wrong with that. But these are brands that they have a little story to them, they have a little vibe to them. Every time someone comes in the store and they want to know something about a candle or a bag or those open nail knives or whatever, maybe I like to be able to tell them a story about it. I like to be able to tell them why we're carrying it. I like to be able to tell them why we thought that it was an important brand or a useful brand to incorporate into the store. So yeah, let me know about brands. If it's something that you can buy on Amazon easily, probably not a brand we're going to carry here. If it's something you can get at Nordstrom's or your local big box store, probably not a brand that we're going to carry here. If it's something that there's thousands of already and every time you walk out your door, your house, you see somebody with it, unless it's like just a hyper local brand. It's probably not something that we're going to carry here. But if it's a brand that is amazing quality, if it's a brand that has a story attached to it, if it's a brand that has real people attached to it, meaning there's a husband and wife, or there's a girl, a guy who you can say this is their story and they're making this product, that's the type of brands that we want to bring in here. We want brands that are like us. We love brands from Dallas. We love brands from Texas. We love brands from the South, of course. But we are not exclusive to just those brands. We also love brands from the Midwest and up north and even the West Coast. We'll even take brands from them. So if you know something like that you want to share with us, or maybe you are a brand like that and you think you do well in our store, let me know. We want to hear about it, okay? All right, folks, well, that's it. You've seen it. This is the Odin Leather Goods and Provisions retail store. Hopefully you got a chance to learn a little more about what we're doing here, how the store is organized, and just kind of my philosophy on picking products and things that I think are great for the store. Everything in here has a story, including myself, right? And I'm happy to share with anyone that walks in, and hopefully it resonates with some of the customers that visit us from time to time. Starting in March, we'll be open again 6 days a week. Until then, we're going to be closed on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just to take a little bit of breather and wait for all the crowds to return. But coming back in March, we'll be in full swing again. Of course, everything's available online, so it's not that big of a deal to most of the customers that obviously aren't in state. It's been a bit of a journey. It's been a lot of fun. It's been some challenges and some tears and stuff involved with getting this off the ground, but I'm very, very happy we did it, even though it was probably the worst year ever to open a retail store. But still, lots of good things to come. As traffic starts to return to development here and people tend to start to get out the house more and more, this pandemic stuff is behind us. I think this is going to be an absolutely wonderful store, and I'm looking forward to bringing in all kinds of new brands and having all different types of new products here. Of course, our focus will always be the online store. That's kind of our bread and butter, and that's what I know very, very well, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here at the retail store. Don't have any questions for you from the online audience today. I neglected to put a call out for FAQs and asking people for questions on Instagram this week. I'll make sure I'll do that next week, and I'll go through all those questions, and I'll spend a little more time focusing on business, because again, I'm learning that tends to be the subject matter that some of the followers of these videos at least really like, and I enjoy talking about it. So if you have business questions related to how I run this business, how I run Leathercraft, or you have Leathercraft questions that you're not seeing answered by other makers out there on YouTube, please let me know. I'd be happy to address those in future videos. These videos again will be done on Mondays. If I'm falling a little behind, they'll be done on a Tuesday or Wednesday, but the goal is to do it on a Monday morning or afternoon, and then have the video published by Tuesday or Wednesday each week. Now, next week, there will not be a video because I'm going to be on vacation with my wife, so don't think I gave up on the videos that quickly. This is episode number 4. Episode number 5 will not be next week. It'll be the week after. But hopefully I'll have some good stories to talk about being on vacation. Maybe we can dig into a little bit kind of the mindset I have or have had in the future about taking vacations. Traditionally, it's been very, very hard for me to take vacations and be away from the workshop for, in this case, we're going to be away from the workshop for 7 days. That is an insane amount of time for me, but I think this year we've got some really great people in place. I got Brandon at the workshop. He's working. We've got Debbie and Jill here in the retail store day to day. They're doing a great job. They can run these operations without me for a period of time. They can run it without my wife for a period of time. And really I'm finding that's kind of, that's kind of where we should be. We should have been thinking about growing a team that will allow us to step away from time to time, whether it be to spend time with my kids like I did this weekend, or whether it be about spending time with each other away from home, like we'll be doing next weekend. That's all because we've been very, very blessed and fortunate to build a good team around us. Debbie and Jill here, Brandon there, all the ends will be covered, and customers will wait a little while until we get back, talk to us on email and things like that. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be hard to be away from the store, but hopefully we'll have enough fun down there in Mexico where we won't even think about it too much. So that's it, folks. Hope you have a great week. I hope that you have a very productive week in your shops and in your businesses, wherever it may be, whether you work for yourself or whether you work for someone else. It doesn't matter. We can be as productive. We want to be productive with whatever we do. So, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, and I guess we'll just see you next week. We won't see you next week. We'll see you the week after, once we get back from vacation, and we'll have some good stories to tell you, and we'll be ready to talk. Don't forget to post your questions on Instagram, on YouTube. comment below, like, share, subscribe, if you will. That really helps me out and really helps the channel out, helps us grow this channel. Share with everyone you know, share wherever you like, ask questions, engage with us. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. All that is good for us. And we'll see you next time here on Monday Shop Talk, not next week, but the week after. Have a good one. See you guys. Bye.